How much are you asking on the games?
I really want to sell all together.
How much on the and on the Atari stuff?
Three.
3.
Yeah, I think it's 30mm. Yeah. I guess the. You're in good shape, dude. Very good.
Yeah.
Let me talk with him, yeah.
How much did you want for that one?
I'm going to ask him to take 20.
20 bucks.
$1, $1. First 2 rows, $1 each.
How much are the games in here?
Everybody has 5 each.
5 each. How much are you asking on the games?
I really want to sell all together.
Do you know what you wanted for that, or cuánto querías?
220 for this one.
220 for all of them. It's 14 pieces.
Ajá.
Brand new.
La consola no tienen, ¿verdad?
No, no. Only the games and the adapter.
All right, so when I found this, it was one of the first things I saw actually, but it was right after I pulled about as much cash as I was willing to spend that day. And it turned out to be just about everything that I just pulled out. They came out with, I think, like 240, 250, and then they went to 220, and I got them to go to 200. When I first saw them, I thought some of them might still be sealed. This is the only one that didn't have the game in it. Every other game is here, totally complete. I mean, whoever this belonged to, they really cared about their games because they basically just did enough to open them and play them and then put them right back.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
¿Tenían más cosas así?
No, I didn't.
Sega, Nintendo, PlayStation. Ya está.
Oh, okay. Muy bien. Gracias.
Ajá. Sorry about that.
So those are the GameBoy Advance games. The Super Mario World is just, there's some inserts in it, but there's no tray, no.
Oh, okay.
It's just a box pretty much.
And then the other ones are complete?
Yeah.
All right. And we said 75 on the PlayStation stuff, right? And do you know what you're asking on these guys?
Or all of them together.
I don't know. I mean, depends.
I haven't looked at prices. I tried looking them up on the way here, but some of them, I mean, there's not very many comps on them. Most expensive one I know is the Earthworm Jim. There's only one sold for, I think, 130, but I mean, I'll do 60.
Dragon Ball and Crash.
Maybe 25 each. I'll probably do 25 on the deluxe.
Yeah, I can do that one. And then,
open and make sure, because last I remember they were complete.
okay. Yeah, I'll check. All right, so we got several days to cover in this week. It's all kind of fragmented and broken up. Like a couple yard sale days, and then Tuesday's flea market day, which is really the main day of the week that I always try to go to. And I definitely do have a good score to cover from there. But I wanted to cover some of the yard sale things too. I think it's, you know, interesting enough to cover and a good variety of items to talk about. So let's get into it. There was an estate sale somewhere along the way. The Steve Howe guitar collection is scanned out to about $65 on the low on Amazon. This tube amp book, I really don't know what to do with this or what to think of it. There were only 2 on eBay, and one of them I think the guy was asking like $700. And then there was another one for about $150 to $200. So of course for $1 I took a chance on that. These Maxell XL2 5-packs for $3 each. These were going for like $30 to $40 for each pack. On this entire DVD binder of Midsummer Murders, and some of the comps I saw were insane. I really don't know like how many volumes there are and what this composes, but man, there's got to be like close to 100 DVDs in here. Some of them were going for over $300 on eBay. I think I paid about $15 for this entire binder. There's even more stuff back here, but this could be a couple $100. What else before we get into that Sega score? We got John Deere vintage mesh trucker hat. This style of hat usually does pretty well actually, and the John Deere ones that I saw do the best were these ones that have kind of a local store or organization mentioned on the patch. This was the last deal of that week, and it started off with just this PS2 DVD remote, which on Amazon it looked like the new steel sealed ones were around 50 to 60. I think I paid like 10 or 15 for it. He wanted 75 on just the PS3, but he threw this in essentially for free at that price. So we were on these 2 items for 75. And this, I believe, is a 500 gigabyte model. Authentic controller, included Resident Evil 5. This should get me around 150 to 200. I think this model does sell a little bit better than the other PS3s, besides the backwards compatible one. And then all of these, except for Mario World 2, are complete in box. They might be missing the little white trays, but the games, the inserts, the manuals are all in there. The Earthworm Jim 2, he showed me one on eBay that went for $130. So this was really what got me into thinking about making a jump on these games with Crash Bandicoot Entranced, Mario Brothers Deluxe. I've seen comps on this all over the place. Some go for 50, others well over 100. Again, condition being the main factor, and that's got some damage on the box there. Damn it. It came out to about 160 or 180, I don't remember, for everything here. When that PS3 sells, that'll be most of it back. And then this should get me about 50, and then everything else is either collection or profit. Kind of like the Sega Game Gear stuff. Not every day you see GameBoy Advance, GameBoy Color stuff essentially complete in box and at a reasonable price. They must have been in a storage unit for 30 years. Some of them have a little bit of box crush. And Game Gear is not really the greatest stuff to pick up, but some of these are rare enough titles, and in the condition that they're in, that it actually did make sense for me. We've got Streets of Rage. It kind of hurt to see that they're actually opened on the bottom or on the top, some of them, depending on which ones they were. Like this looks sealed all the way to the top, but you can see that they carefully, maybe not so carefully on this one, opened the bottom and pulled it out from there. Vampire Master of Darkness goes for like 50 for just the cartridge. So with the box and the seal still around it, I don't know, maybe $100 there. RoboCop versus Terminator. Again, the box crush on some of these does suck. RoboCop 3, Super Smash TV, and look at that. Some of them look like they still just came right out of the case. Full Spot. Actually saw a complete one of these go for 75. Shinobi 2, The Silent Fury. You can see that just crazy condition, except for that little side right there. Echo the Dolphin and Shoplifter 3. I really have not gone and looked at price charting yet. I was just looking at most of them. The only comps I could find were for the cartridge only. And then for some of them that I actually did see sell complete in box, I was really happy with the price. I think that Shinobi 2, I saw one for 150 to 200, and then the RoboCop and Terminator ones are also solid. Streets of Rage. I don't see stuff like this that often in this kind of condition. There was an old couple, and I thought maybe they'd save 50 bucks, maybe even 20 bucks. The people around here, if they don't know They usually find someone who does and have them give them an estimate, and that's understandable, and I was okay with paying that price. Yeah, so I just wanted to get them all spread out there to get a better view of all the titles, and just not very often that you see something like this sitting there. And some of them might even go and stay in the collection, like that Shinobi. There's actually a couple here I wouldn't mind keeping for myself. I finally do have a Game Gear that works. First one that I've been able to find that didn't need to be recapped. Sorry I didn't get enough live footage of the pickup, but hopefully the recap does it a little bit more justice. One thing I want to add at the end here is that this happened almost 2 years ago, and I really did not know that they would sell as well as they did. That's one reason why I went and got it down to 200 from the 240. But this is a reselling channel, and that is the whole idea here. So I hope you're not too angry when you see me profit from things that I bought. But I am also a collector, and these are the two that I held on to, which is why you didn't see sold comps in the recap. I mean, just look at that Shinobi right there. That's crazy, man. I'm not gonna find one like that again. And also the Streets of Rage. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and click that like button, maybe leave a comment for me and help me out. Thank you.